Have you ever uncovered a secret so dark it changes everything you thought you knew? Tonight's story begins with an ordinary family, but beneath the surface lies a chilling mystery. Meet Sarah, a loving mother who thought she knew her daughter, Emily, better than anyone. But as whispers of strange happenings began to swirl, Sarah was forced to face a terrifying truth. Could you handle discovering something so horrifying about someone you love? Stay with us as we unravel the spine-tingling secrets that lie within their home. You won't want to miss a single detail of this unsettling journey. Sarah and Emily's life seemed picture-perfect on the outside. They lived in a quaint, cozy house in a quiet suburb where everyone knew each other's names and faces. Sarah, a devoted mother, poured her heart into ensuring Emily's happiness. Every morning, she would wake up early to prepare Emily's favorite breakfast, pancakes with syrup, just the way Emily liked them. The two would chat about their day, sharing laughs and plans, reinforcing their inseparable bond. They often spent weekends exploring local parks, visiting the library, or baking cookies together in their sunlit kitchen. Their home was filled with warmth, laughter, and the sweet scent of fresh cookies, a place where darkness seemed an impossibility. Emily, a bright and cheerful girl, excelled in school and had a close circle of friends. To everyone around them, Sarah and Emily were the perfect example of a loving, nurturing family. But as we all know, appearances can be deceiving. Hidden beneath this veneer of normalcy was a growing tension, something neither Sarah nor Emily could quite put their finger on. The close bond they shared made the ensuing discovery even more heart-wrenching, as Sarah delved deeper into the mystery that would shatter their idyllic life. Stay tuned as the story takes a chilling turn, revealing the disturbing truths that lay beneath the surface of their seemingly ordinary world. The unsettling discovery begins with a seemingly ordinary afternoon. Sarah had just finished tidying up the living room when she noticed Emily's backpack lying on the floor, something she usually kept in her room. Curious, Sarah decided to put it away for her. As she picked it up, the backpack felt unusually heavy, almost as if it was weighed down by something significant. A sense of unease settled in her chest as she unzipped it. Inside, she found Emily's school books, a few crumpled papers, and something else that she couldn't quite make out. Reaching deeper, her fingers brushed against something cold and metallic. She pulled out a small, locked box, the kind you'd use to store valuables or secrets. Her heart pounded in her chest, a mixture of fear and curiosity gripping her. What could Emily possibly need to hide in a locked box? With trembling hands, Sarah searched the house for something to pick the lock, eventually finding a small hairpin. As the lock clicked open, Sarah took a deep breath, bracing herself for whatever she was about to uncover. Inside the box, she found a collection of items that made her blood run cold. Torn pages from books with cryptic symbols, a jar filled with what appeared to be dark, dried herbs, and a worn-out, handwritten journal. Flipping through the pages of the journal, Sarah's eyes widened in horror as she read entries filled with unsettling drawings and descriptions of rituals, strange markings, and eerie events that Emily had been documenting. It was as if she had stumbled upon a hidden world, a dark side of her daughter's life that she had never imagined existed. The realization hit her like a ton of bricks. Her sweet, innocent Emily was involved in something deeply disturbing and dangerous. This was just the beginning of a journey that would unravel more horrifying secrets, pushing Sarah to the edge as she struggled to understand the darkness that had infiltrated their lives. Stay with us as we dive deeper into the chilling revelations that Sarah uncovers, each more terrifying than the last. The discovery of the hidden diary brings a new layer of terror to Sarah's already fraught world. One evening, after Emily had gone to bed, Sarah noticed something odd under Emily's pillow. Carefully lifting it, she discovered a small, leather-bound diary, its cover worn from use. Intrigued and apprehensive, Sarah took the diary to her room, feeling the weight of its dark contents even before opening it. As she began to read, her heart sank with each page. The diary was filled with cryptic and horrifying entries, written in Emily's unmistakable handwriting. The first few pages described strange dreams, that Emily had been having dreams of shadowy figures and whispered voices calling her name in the dark. These dreams were more than just nightmares. They seemed to be pulling Emily into another reality, a world where she was not alone. Further into the diary, Sarah found descriptions of rituals and dark practices that Emily had been performing in secret. There were detailed instructions on how to use the torn pages and herbs found in the locked box, each entry more chilling than the last. Emily's writing revealed a disturbing fascination with the occult, a hidden world of darkness that she felt drawn to. The more Sarah read, the more she realized that her daughter was in deep trouble. The diary also contained notes about a mysterious figure Emily referred to as the Watcher. This entity seemed to play a central role in Emily's dark activities, guiding her through the rituals and promising her things that no mother would ever want her child to hear. The entries grew increasingly frantic as Emily described encounters with the Watcher, her fear palpable through the pages. The diary ended with a final, chilling note, an entry that spoke of an upcoming ritual that would change everything, a date circled in red that was fast approaching. Sarah's hands trembled as she closed the diary, her mind racing with the realization of the peril her daughter was in. She knew she had to act quickly to save Emily from whatever darkness had taken hold of her. This was no longer just a series of unsettling discoveries. It was a fight for her daughter's soul. Stay with us as Sarah races against time to uncover the full extent of Emily's involvement and attempts to rescue her from the clutches of evil that have infiltrated their lives. The next chapter of their story plunges even deeper into the shadows, where the lines between reality and nightmare blur, and the true horror of what lies within their home is revealed. The first confrontation happens on a cold, dreary evening. Sarah had spent the entire day with the haunting words from Emily's diary echoing in her mind. The house, once filled with warmth and comfort, now felt like a trap closing in on her. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the walls, she decided it was time to face Emily. With a heavy heart and trembling hands, Sarah walked up the creaky stairs to Emily's room. She found Emily sitting on a bed, seemingly engrossed in her homework. The sight of her daughter looking so innocent and focused made Sarah's heart ache, but she knew she couldn't let her emotions cloud what needed to be done. "Emily, we need to talk," Sarah said, her voice steady despite the storm of fear inside her. Emily looked up, her eyes wide with surprise and curiosity. "Sure, Mom, what's up?" Sarah took a deep breath, holding the leather-bound diary in her hands. "I found this under your pillow. Do you want to explain what's going on?" Emily's face changed in an instant, her eyes darting away and her expression becoming guarded. "It's nothing, Mom. Just some stories I made up. You don't need to worry." But Sarah could see the fear and evasion in Emily's eyes, and she knew these were not just stories. "Emily, this isn't nothing. These entries, they talk about rituals and a figure called the Watcher. I need to know what you're getting yourself into." Emily's hands clenched into fists, and for a moment, Sarah thought she saw a flicker of something dark in her daughter's eyes. "Mom, it's really nothing. It's just a game some friends and I are playing. It's not real." Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. "Emily, this is serious. I read about your dreams and the rituals. This isn't safe. Who is the Watcher? Are they making you do these things?" Emily stood up abruptly, her gaze cold and unyielding. "Mom, you don't understand. You wouldn't get it. Just leave it alone." Sarah's heart broke as she saw her daughter withdrawing, a wall of secrets and lies forming between them. "Emily, I'm your mother. I need to protect you. Please talk to me." But Emily just shook her head, her expression hardening. "There's nothing to talk about. Just stay out of my business, Mom." With that, Emily turned away, leaving Sarah standing there, feeling more helpless and terrified than ever before. Sarah knew that whatever was happening to Emily, it was beyond anything she had ever faced. The confrontation had opened a door to a darker truth, but it was clear that Emily was not ready to let her in. Sarah realized that she needed to find another way to reach her daughter, to understand the evil that had taken root in their lives. The battle had just begun, and Sarah was determined to save Emily, no matter the cost. Stay with us as we delve deeper into Sarah's desperate attempts to uncover the truth and protect her daughter from the sinister forces at play. The next chapter will take you further into the terrifying unknown, where every revelation brings them closer to a chilling conclusion that will leave you breathless. The dark history delves into the family's past, unearthing long-buried secrets that may explain Emily's disturbing behavior. As Sarah's fear for her daughter grew, she realized she needed to understand more about their family to uncover any hidden connections to the darkness that had taken hold of Emily. One rainy afternoon, Sarah visited her elderly Aunt Martha, known in the family for being the keeper of old stories and traditions. Sitting in Martha's dimly lit parlor, where the air smelled of old books and lavender, Sarah hesitated before asking, "Aunt Martha, do you know if there's anything unusual in our family history?" Martha's eyes sparkled with a mix of curiosity and concern. "Our family has its share of secrets, dear. What are you looking to find?" Sarah explained the strange events surrounding Emily, the rituals, the diary, and the mysterious figure called the Watcher. Martha's expression darkened as she listened, and she nodded slowly. "I've never spoken of this, but there is a story that might shed some light. It dates back to our ancestor, Eliza, who lived in the old country over a century ago. Eliza was known to possess unusual abilities, an affinity for the occult. It was rumored that she made a pact with a dark entity to save her family during a time of great hardship." Sarah's pulse quickened as Martha continued. "This entity, referred to as the Watcher, granted Eliza power and knowledge, but at a terrible cost. The pact required that every few generations, a descendant would be drawn into the Watcher's influence, serving as a conduit for its will." Sarah's mind raced. Could Emily be the latest in this line of cursed descendants? Is there anything we can do to break this connection, to protect Emily? Martha sighed, her eyes filled with sorrow. "The curse is strong, but not unbreakable. Eliza left behind a spellbook, hidden away to keep it from falling into the wrong hands. If you find it, you might discover a way to sever the bond with the Watcher and free Emily. Armed with this knowledge, Sarah felt a glimmer of hope. She thanked Martha and hurried home, determined to find Eliza's spellbook and save her daughter. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger and mystery, but Sarah knew she had no choice but to face it. Unbeknownst to Sarah, her quest would reveal even darker secrets about her family's past and the true extent of the Watcher's malevolent influence. Stay with us as we follow Sarah's desperate search for the spellbook, unraveling the twisted history of her ancestors and confronting the terrifying forces that threaten to consume her daughter. This is a story where the past and present collide, leading to a spine-chilling climax that will keep you on the edge of your seat, and you won't want to miss a single moment of it. The strange behaviors begin to manifest in subtle, unsettling ways. It starts with Emily's once bright eyes losing their light, replaced by a distant and vacant stare. Sarah notices Emily speaking in hushed tones to herself, as if engaged in conversations with unseen entities. One night, Sarah hears low, murmuring chants coming from Emily's room, words that send chills down her spine because they sound like the dark rituals described in the diary. Emily's demeanor at school changes. Two teachers reach out, concerned about her sudden isolation and uncharacteristic outbursts of anger. She begins to draw disturbing images, filling sketchbooks with grotesque figures and sinister symbols that mirror those in the torn pages Sarah had found earlier. The sweet, happy girl who once loved baking cookies and playing in the park now seems consumed by a darkness that Sarah can't penetrate. Their home becomes a battleground of worry and fear, every shadow, every creak amplifying Sarah's dread. Emily starts collecting odd, seemingly meaningless objects, broken mirrors, dead insects, and rusty nails, hiding them in places around the house. One evening, as Sarah is preparing dinner, she catches Emily staring blankly at a knife, her fingers tracing its edge with an eerie calmness. It's as if Emily is no longer alone in her own body, a malevolent force guiding her actions. When Sarah tries to confront her again, Emily's responses are cold and evasive, her once warm and loving nature replaced by a chilling detachment. As the sinister behaviors escalate, Sarah becomes more desperate to save her daughter, fearing that time is running out. The line between reality and nightmare continues to blur, and the true extent of the Watcher's grip on Emily becomes terrifyingly clear. Stay with us as Sarah battles to reclaim her daughter from the darkness, uncovering more horrifying secrets that push her to the limits of her courage and resolve. Every step brings them closer to a confrontation with the evil that has intruded into their lives, revealing the final, terrifying truth that will leave you breathless. The second confrontation happens on a night when the air is thick with tension. Sarah's nerves are frayed, her every sense heightened by the fear that has now pervaded every corner of their home. The house is eerily silent, except for the occasional creak of the floorboards, as if it too is holding its breath. Sarah knows she can no longer skirt around the issue. Emily's behavior is spiraling out of control, and she must get to the bottom of it now. She finds Emily in her room, sitting in the dark, her silhouette barely visible against the window's faint light. Sarah's heart aches as she steps inside, steeling herself for what she knows will be an intense confrontation. "Emily, we need to talk now," Sarah says, her voice firm but tinged with desperation. Emily doesn't turn around, her gaze fixed on something outside. "There's nothing to talk about, Mom. Just leave me alone." But Sarah can't back down this time. "No, Emily, I can't ignore this anymore. I know something is terribly wrong. I need to know the truth. Emily finally turns to face her, and Sarah's breath catches in her throat. Her daughter's eyes, once full of life and warmth, now seem hollow, almost lifeless. "You want the truth, Mom? You really want to know?" Emily's voice is cold, almost mocking. "Yes, Emily, please. I need to understand what's happening to you." Slowly, Emily stands and walks over to her desk, where she picks up a small, tarnished mirror. She holds it up, her reflection distorted and twisted in the dim light. "Look at us, Mom. Do you see what we've become?" Sarah feels a shiver run down her spine, but doesn't flinch. "What do you mean? What have we become?" Emily's grip tightens on the mirror, her knuckles white. The Watcher isn't just a story or a game. It's real. It's always been real. Taking a step closer, Emily continues, her voice barely above a whisper, yet each word cuts through Sarah like a knife. "The Watcher chose me, Mom. It said I was special, that I was meant to fulfill a purpose. I didn't believe it at first, but then things started to happen. Strange things. I couldn't stop it, even if I wanted to." Sarah's mind races as she listens, the horrifying puzzle pieces starting to fall into place. "What kind of things, Emily? Please tell me." Emily's eyes darken, and she leans in closer, her face inches from Sarah's. "It showed me the truth about our family, about the curse. I've seen things, Mom, things you wouldn't believe. The Watcher promised to protect me, to give me power, but there's a price, and now I'm trapped." Sarah's heart breaks as she watches her daughter struggle with the terrifying reality she's been forced into. "Emily, we can fight this. We can break the curse. But I need your help. I can't do it alone." Emily shakes her head, tears welling up in her eyes. "It's too late, Mom. The ritual is almost complete. Once it's done, there's no turning back." Refusing to give up, Sarah takes Emily's hands, her grip firm and unwavering. "Listen to me, Emily. We still have time. I've discovered some things, a way to break the connection with the Watcher. You just have to trust me." For a moment, a flicker of hope appears in Emily's eyes, but it's quickly overshadowed by doubt and fear. "You don't understand, Mom. The Watcher is always watching. It won't let me go." Sarah pulls her daughter into a tight embrace, whispering, "We will find a way, Emily. I promise you, we will." The confrontation leaves both of them shaken, but a small spark of determination ignites within Sarah. She knows now that the fight to save Emily is far from over. With newfound resolve, Sarah prepares to confront the darkness head-on, risking everything to free her daughter from the clutches of the malevolent force that threatens to consume her. Stay with us as Sarah's journey takes a darker turn, unraveling the sinister secrets that bind them to the Watcher and leading them towards a final, gripping showdown that will test the limits of love, courage, and sacrifice. The ultimate revelation happens on a night when the oppressive silence in the house feels almost suffocating. Sarah is determined to find out the full extent of what has been consuming her daughter. She waits until Emily falls into a restless sleep, her breathing shallow and uneasy. With her mind set on uncovering the truth, Sarah quietly makes her way to Emily's room and begins searching through every drawer, every hidden nook she can think of. Her heart pounds in her chest, fear and desperation driving her every move. At the back of Emily's closet, Sarah discovers a loose floorboard. With a feeling of dread, she pries it open and finds a hidden compartment containing a collection of items that send chills down her spine. Black candles, strange amulets, and a weathered, ancient-looking book covered in symbols she doesn't recognize. Opening the book, Sarah finds pages filled with dark incantations and drawings of terrifying rituals. The realization that her daughter has been deeply involved in the occult hits her like a cold wave. But the most horrifying discovery is a page that describes a ritual meant to bind a human soul to a malevolent entity permanently. The date of the ritual is circled in red. It's the very next night. Sarah's breath catches as she finds a final handwritten note from Emily, describing how the Watcher has promised her protection and power in exchange for her complete submission. Emily's words are filled with fear and resignation, as if she has accepted her fate. Sarah's mind races as she tries to piece together a plan. She realizes that tonight is her last chance to save Emily. She quickly gathers the items and heads to the basement, where she discovers a hidden altar covered in symbols matching those in the book. The air is thick with a malevolent presence, making it hard to breathe. As Sarah examines the altar, she hears a whisper, a voice that seems to come from the shadows themselves. "You cannot save her, Sarah. She belongs to me." The voice sends a shiver down her spine, but she steels herself, refusing to give in to fear. Sarah knows she must act quickly. She recalls the spellbook mentioned by Aunt Martha and searches frantically until she finds it hidden among the other items. Flipping through its pages, she locates a counter-ritual, a way to break the bond between Emily and the Watcher. Determined to save her daughter, Sarah begins the incantation, her voice strong and unwavering. As she chants, the room grows colder, and the shadows seem to come alive, writhing and closing in around her. The presence of the Watcher becomes almost tangible, a dark force trying to stop her. But Sarah doesn't falter. Her love for Emily gives her strength, and she continues the ritual, her words echoing through the basement. Suddenly, Emily appears at the top of the stairs, her eyes filled with fear and confusion. "Mom, what are you doing?" Sarah turns to her, her heart breaking at the sight of her daughter. "I'm trying to save you, Emily. I won't let the Watcher take you." As the final words of the incantation leave Sarah's lips, a blinding light fills the room. The shadows scream and recoil, and the dark presence seems to dissipate. Emily collapses to the floor, unconscious. Sarah rushes to her side, cradling her daughter in her arms. Emily's eyes flutter open, and Sarah can see that the darkness has lifted from them. "Mom, what happened?" Emily asks, her voice weak but clear. "It's over, Emily. The Watcher is gone. You're safe now." Tears stream down Sarah's face as she holds Emily tightly, relief flooding through her. The battle is won, but the scars of what they've been through remain. The darkness that once threatened to consume them has been vanquished, but the memory of it will linger forever. Sarah knows that their journey is not over. They will need time to heal and to rebuild the trust and love that was nearly destroyed. But for now, they are together, and that is enough. Stay with us as we explore the aftermath of this harrowing experience, delving into how Sarah and Emily begin to reclaim their lives from the shadows that once enveloped them. This story of courage, love, and the strength of a mother's bond will continue to unfold, revealing the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable darkness. The conclusion brings us to a night where the air is still heavy with the remnants of fear and tension. Sarah and Emily sit together in their now dimly lit living room, the quiet hum of the world outside feeling distant and unreal. Sarah reflects on the journey they have endured, the emotional turmoil that has forever scarred their hearts. She thinks back to the days when everything seemed perfect, when their lives were filled with laughter and light. The stark contrast between then and now feels like a chasm that can never be bridged. Emily, though freed from the grasp of the Watcher, still carries the weight of her experiences. Her nightmares have not ceased, and the memory of the dark rituals and the presence of the malevolent entity lingers in her mind, casting a shadow over her every thought. Sarah watches her daughter, her heart aching for the innocence that was lost. She knows that the path to healing will be long and arduous. The scars, both seen and unseen, will take time to mend, and the fear of the unknown will always loom over them. Yet amidst the sorrow, there is a glimmer of hope. The ordeal has brought them closer, forging a bond that is stronger than ever before. Together, they have faced the darkness and emerged on the other side, forever changed but not defeated. Sarah clings to this hope, drawing strength from it as they take each step forward. The house, once filled with the echoes of a sinister presence, now feels like a sanctuary, a place where they can begin to rebuild and reclaim their lives. But the story does not end here. The darkness they encountered serves as a haunting reminder of the unseen horrors that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most ordinary lives. It is a tale that leaves us with a lingering sense of unease, a chilling realization that the boundaries between our world and the unknown are more fragile than we might think. As the night deepens and the shadows lengthen, we are reminded of the strength of a mother's love and the resilience of the human spirit. In the face of unimaginable terror, Sarah and Emily have shown us that even in the darkest of times, hope can still prevail. Thank you for joining us on this harrowing journey. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more spine-tingling stories, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay safe and sleep well, but always keep an eye on the shadows.